Beaver Street Fisheries is a seafood distributor. We import approximately 3,000 containers a year and we distribute throughout North America. We have two types of customers, retail and food service. So we deliver or service Walmart's, Winn-Dixie's, as well as a U.S. food service or a Cisco or Unipro, some of those guys. More and more it's coming down to a customer service. So when I ask you for a product, I want the product, and we do a lot of like specialty products where we'll bag or process it based on their requirements. So we'll do some light manufacturing to meet their specific requirements. So our challenge going forward as they ask us to do more, quicker, accurately, we need these platforms in place to help us get there. Traditionally, we have a homegrown, proprietary, 25-year-old legacy system. And we were no longer able to keep up with the demands that our customers kept asking us to do. So some of the simple requests that you would think are just, well, that's, companies can just do that overnight. We would take weeks or months to develop. So the reason we selected JDA was the primary driver on that is we went out, we actually ended up looking at both. We did look at High Jump, Manhattan, Red Prairie at the time, JDA now. And really it came down to the food and service. How deep were they into the food and service or the food and beverage industry? What we ended up finally getting from JDA, we actually have warehouse management, transportation management, workforce management, trackability, and web visibility. So the process changes that resulted in introducing these products really were driven from the fact that before I had no visibility, now I have visibility. So what would happen is before we did have actual receivers, shippers, a guy that did cycle counts, and now we look at things instead of from an order or from a pick ticket point of view, now we view it as a task. We can see what they're doing, we can actually measure it. We have metrics in place now so we can measure the good performers versus the ones who need additional help. So some of the efficiencies that came about from basically the process changes, three of the real quick hitters were one, our overtime hours went down. So we have much better accountability of our labor. Two, the inventory accuracy went up. So before where the product might be in the warehouse but we can't find it, it might as well not be there. So we can see where it is. It's food, so it's trackable. We can see when it came in, expiration dates, all those things became much more visible. We also have some of the discipline that a system brings to the table. So now instead of I have 5 different ways to receive, we have one way to receive. When I pick, I have one way to pick. And more importantly, the accuracy on the back. So when we ship, the controls are in place to make sure that the right product was picked onto the right pallet and the pallet made it onto the right dock, onto the right trailer and went to the right destination. So we don't have freight going all over the U.S. that's not supposed to. I think once you get the system tuned and it's running, from the end user point of view, so on the warehouse management component, the user has a very simple interface on a handheld device. They're able to quickly go out. We can bring up a guy in one shift and he's fully functional on the system and he's often doing his job. So before there was sort of a large learning curve where you have to not only learn our product, where we put the product, can you find the product. Now everything has a pallet ID, it's very simple. You get a task, it says go here, get this, do this, and as long as you follow the prompts and do what the system directs you to do, they're more successful quicker. I think the competitive advantage that comes with JDA really is just having a platform in place so that as either our sales force comes up with more creative ways to service our customer, more value-add kind of services to go with our product, we have the platform in place that can address those things very quickly. So instead of 6 months of development, now it's more like 2 weeks of testing and we can roll out. So we're able to keep up with operations and those ideas and things that are coming at us much better. So to date, we've had a very good working relationship with JDA. So everything we've asked for, everything we've thought of, they've been very proactive, worked with us, helped us to define a solution and then help implement the solution. So it's a partnership. We couldn't have got to where we have gotten as quick as we did without that partnership.